Hello, replay viewer. Thank you for connecting. I am Ami, broadcasting from Far East Japan. I have a Friday evening here in Far East. So, those of you who are connecting through Twitter, if you have an account with Twitter, not the Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, then I am simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube and Twitch, and that is better quality. So please go check and connect with me there. Also, hi, thank you for hi Mel, happy Friday, happy Friday. I'm sorry that I was canceling that Wellness Wednesday wisdom, rescheduled it, and then I canceled it yesterday. So I decided to come here, swing by for Friday flow to check in. Gee, it's been quite a challenging week for me, and it's good to connect here on Friday after Monday to set getting the reminder for the week and then reviewing at the Friday. So that actually making sense. And if you can recall, the reminder for this week was the third energy center, sense of self and power to choose, decide, self-esteem, willpower, the sense of self. So then it's a very synchronistic flow that I've been having with other group that I kind of being part of, was featuring the third chakra, sense of self, and from different angle to talk about that energetic effect, and focus is for healing. And then lots are coming up actually, especially that we talked about the third energy center for healthy self-esteem. It was, I think. And yeah, it's about trusting and self responsibility, and to decide, and healthy boundary, be responsible for. And the physical body itself, when we are unhealthy about that particular third energy center, and then the body is really showing up as a kidney challenges or diabetic. It's about being responsible for and comfortable and trusting self and self-love. And each of us has our own unique journey since studied this life from that childhood. It's the life is really unfair. That came to my awareness yesterday, that we talk about the fairness, but life itself is absolutely unfair, and that is what is life is. But as a human being, we need things mutually. Like, we need one another, we need love, we need caring person, since we arrived as a baby to growing up as a person, a human becoming the person, and to learn about how to connect to the world around us, to protect and communicate, and to be part of, as to survive life, right? And each environment is unique, and it's very easy for us nowadays to take a look at the peoples who's living on the other side of the planet. For example, like me in Far East, and then the other side of the planet, it would be like the Brazil Amazon, for example, right? And when we get the globe and then take a look at this side, it's called the Amazon. But nowadays we can get the visual from the people living in the Amazon forest and what's happening in the environmental issues. And that's the thanks for technology. But at the same time, there is always a pro con, and you can see that what is success and what is happiness is, it's we decide, we assign the meaning for success and happiness, but the mutual things is joy, love, connection. These are the fundamental human needs that we all equally, probably equally that we need. The magnitude of the level or the way we feel that kind of emotion and feeling satisfaction is unique to each one of us. But as a human being, as we need oxygen, as we need water, as we need the physical energy from food, as we need one another to share love and connectedness, that's something that we need as a human species. So by talking about the fairness, it's life is unfair. Let's say it's just a small unit, for example, like a family member. If you are the first child to the family, or the 10 sibling brothers and sisters, and 10th son or daughter of the brothers and sisters, and then it's an absolutely different relatedness to the parents. That's natural, right? The first is very careful, and then the 10th, and the brother, the elderly, must be supporting younger, and that dynamic is completely different. Or maybe you are the only one child in the family. It's totally different from learning how to relate to other human beings. Let's say like you have 10 brothers and sisters, and then there is a naturally communication dynamic, is since you're born in that environment, but you are the only one child. And then even to talk to other at the same age human being and is at the school, for example, and then everything else is just you and the parent and grandparent, and then it's like no communication with the other friends, all the adults, and how are they gonna learn how to sharing something like the naturally the children learn to sharing with brothers and sisters when you are in the middle child of large number of family member. So the life is unfair, and we each has a unique way to develop in the way having a sense of self and to connect with the world around us and to express itself and feeling okay or not okay, and these part of human system learning through experience and developing the belief system. That's how we open as in a cell phone. That the OS is that sometimes we need the update of a system, operation system, completely need to update, downloading the new way to operate. And we no longer operating as the same system that when we are 3 years old, 5 years old, 7 years old. And somewhat we updating it, but sometimes is we noticing that old like Windows 95 element is still implemented in here or somewhere in particular situation. It's like a bugging, it's creating some challenges and issues that it disallowing to do something, who knows. So that's a good analogy that we operate based on a belief system, and when we want to create a different experience and repeating the same pattern, and then pretty much the same pattern is coming on the way. However, that same thing in a different context and then a different outcome. So there is the room to explore that, to change that context doing the same thing and see how it goes. That's part of our journey, but it's all about developing personality and a personal element, sharing the mutual humanness. So I think ideal community is to help one another, each other, to become aware of our personal qualities and the way to experience joy, love, and excitement that's unique to that's we own that element. So what will make us excited, joyful, and that's something that we got to clarify and allow that to guide our life. And many reasons that these are repressed because of the family we came from, or the environment that we were being part of at the school or the society or in a relationship. And somehow we needed to follow what they want us to become. So something that quote came this morning to me is like, no one needs to give permission to be who we are except ourselves. So we got to give ourselves permission to be what we are, what we want to become, connecting to the essence with the matured awareness and what we learned, and to challenge. Yeah, isn't it? It's a good reminder, actually. And then all these, it's connecting from the Mondays personal power reminder that to healthy self-esteem. That was really came to deserving healing for my week. So and then at the same time, it's the digestive. So the body is the kidney and diabetic, and then also digestive tract, the food digestion, that is literally connected to this third energy center, stomach upset. And then that reminded me of that when I was in a 10, I was a really sensitive child and easy get stomach ache, like a dry mouth, because of the stomach is really upsetting, and it's hard to digest, and then also dried out. And you can see the tongue when you take a look at the tongue, and your tongue, it's got whitish color because of the dryness and so forth. And that easily create the environment when we are under stress, like the deadline, right before the important presentation. I became a similar environment that my body is related to. So, but when I was a 10, I have no idea, but constantly my body was digesting in that way. And then I went to see the doctor, but was not because of my issue, but one of the family member needed to visit the doctor. So as a family member, I was also one, visiting with them. And then my mother, who somehow suggested me to, why don't you ask doctor that you have issues of the stomach, and then was like, okay, yeah. And then doctor took a look at me, and then says, okay, you've got a very stomach upset under the stress and blah blah blah. And then I was given the medicine, was like, it's absolutely stressed out stomach. And then if I was in that, and then it's easy to get the holes in my stomach. So that's how sensitive and easy we can get the hole, or some abnormal cells in that area. So you need to be careful about that. And then I knew that what was causing it, because it was very strict environment, living in the public life, and then being part of a family member. So I was unsure about what way to behave in the public or the family or at the school, or who am I, kind of it's very unsure, pressured. And then at the end of the day, my body was really upsetting. But anyhow, so that is the self, and I was totally understandable once I chose to not to being part of that, and then that healed amazingly. And then when I need to be part of some group or the team, or organization, strictly like stressful situation, then that symptom coming back. So I know how my body is responding, and then I need to be really careful about to excuse myself to being part of that pressured, or myself is need to change the way to feel the responsibility. It's coming down to the responsibility, like taking the responsible role for something that you cannot be responsible for, especially like a children. So it's the boundary, and which is your part, my part, which is their part, and it quite unsure. And then it's the boundary get messed up, and then the stomach got upset. But anyhow, so it's the healthy self-esteem, sense of self. This is my power to choose and decide, and can be responsible, absolutely. But this, what is the responsibility, what I can be responsible with my own power, that clear self-love and challenge and decision, and be responsible on their own skin and own power. That is really a good lesson, especially when you are in the relationship, partnership, intimate, or very close co-creator. It's a good lesson, always deepening the lessons. And then that doesn't mean the selfish, but it's the self-centered and caring, nurturing self first in order to love others. But so that actually came to my awareness. So thanks for listening. That's what I wanted to share on the Friday. And as usual, since we skipped the Wisdom Wednesday for the key awareness, I would like to pick the card quickly, and what we can become aware of the key energy awareness for the day. Would you help me, Mel, for picking up the number between 1 to 7 for me? Perhaps? Please? Yeah. The depending on own power. 4. But because of secure enough for own, and be able to ask for help. Not strength attached, but if insecure about self, it's codependent. It's like needing always something, someone outside of all power to sustain sense of self. That is very unhealthy. I need to laugh at myself. I have a lot of room to enhance and strengthen that area. That I'm like so extreme. This or this. Absolutely like core oneness. And then or absolutely like just alone. So isn't there any way to hear? It's like, isn't there any way to finding out really sense of self and loving and sharing and then respect and the boundaries and so that's where I am at my 50th journey on this lifetime for G 1 2 3 4, but my commitment is pretty firm. So when I get ouch, no more, and then it's just out, absolutely go away, and then aloneness, and then it was like, oh gee, I mean, so here is the word book. It's the book of energy. Home ki home book of energy is the seriousness, commitment. I mean, didn't I say commitment right before this came up? It's the book of energy, like dedicating absolute energy to chosen goal or task or action. Home ki. Then wanna put some these element with the color 7 energy center. Today is this one, orangey. Oh, orange is the creative. Oh my gosh, balance. The second energy center is the relationship. 101 relation. Didn't I say something about the relationship with the committing? It's the self-centered, like a third energy center, clear boundary. Oh my. So the balance in creativity, co-creation with the partner is pleasure, joy. So it's the pleasure center. It's having lots of fun and full of fun. That's fine, but in avoiding to having some sweating part, like a building muscle is sweating, and sometimes is using undeveloped muscle is gives us a painful sensation, which is like hard to move the body next day. It was not so fun, but knowing that it's good because intentionally building it. So, but it's not joyful. Once we develop the new muscle and then easily doing uplifting, that's joy. Yes, right? So getting there sometimes is not so much pleasurable, but these are like, this and this. So like a quick pleasure, only the pleasurable situation might be unhealthy. Perhaps it's like addictive for easy to get high, for example, alcohol or nicotine or anything that gives us immediate, shift of change. And it's okay to have a balance, but it's always going there for getting the pleasure is giving unbalanced way of having pleasure. The second energy center, that's also that. See and so and this and this. these both side and raise the level. That's the healthy balance. So when we know that this is good and then avoiding this side and then this is gonna lose balance, right? It's the this and this come and go, build and enjoy and accomplish, and that's that. So honki, it's the serious commitment in the second energy center. It's a creation or one-on-one relation, balanced way to see and sow. That's that comes back to me is the sense of self. The third energy center is the point of Libra. The balance is the sense of self where we want to align, right? So to commit to this side and this side, allowing that balance to raise the level for growth with a book of energy, never giving up attitude. Slow down if it becomes stiff, and never stop. Slow down. I was like, this week it was very heavy and it's almost like stopping, but it's just slow down in, slow down in. But accept as is and then get going with that. Thank you, Mel. Really like your support. That I truly appreciate that to connecting and to get going with developing something that meaningful for myself, to put myself out and then sharing what I need to share. So thank you. I truly appreciate that. So the balance. Honki, and then another way to balancing the honki is sort of like focus, focus, dedication. And what about the balance? Sometimes when I fully, seriously dedicated. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be able to share. Focus on that dedication, and then everything else, I just cannot see. That's something to do with my brain is, we each have a unique way brain function. It's like hard to paying attention as an attention ADD or ADHD, or the brain has an dyslexia as mine. But in case of me, it's like I seems to have super focused and then unable to pay attention to the world around us. It's like I don't I just need to be reminded, even to forget about eating, or forget about moving body, or forget about feeding my dog or something. So needing the balance when really seriously commit and doing something. So when I learned that nature is very strong, which is good because it's like a constant focus, 10-hour constantly. It's I can do that. But in case of me, it's like I need to break and then do something else to back here, unless otherwise I lose balance. So focusing, sometimes to losing out the focus. Do you know this eye or brain test that many different kind of dots are there, and then take a look, what do you see from these dots? And some people see the birds, and some people see the mountains. Yeah, yeah. And then in order to find this, what's in the picture, and then you got to losing out the focus to take a look, like squinting a little bit, and then absolutely new picture is coming up from that painting. So that's sort of like a good example of the human. It's the seriously looking for something. It's never gonna see that in there. Yeah, yeah. And then that is also like a synchronicity. If you are if you are seriously looking for synchronicity, I think I doubted that you find it. But when you loosen up and dedicating some other things in life, and then boom, all of a sudden synchronicity come, and then we notice. It's like a looking for is like a going into, and then noticing is back off and losing that focus, and then it comes and then boom, notice. And there's a third way that to dedicate in everyday life, and then it comes but not noticing. It's like a blind not noticing it. So it's like a consciously noticing. So notice sensor is so up, and antenna sensor is so sensing. Yeah. And then when we dedicating seriously to particular things, like me doing something, and then even not noticing someone just come past here, or my dogs are asking me to feed, unless they're like really getting my attention. But so it's the focusing and losing. I think that's also the balance, like a in and out, in and out. So the both are needed. That one state is that it is, but as a human and being part of this, everyday life, then we got to balancing both out. Yeah, and then in case of me, it's like it's very used to. I used to be easily missing out that boat because of too engaging this. And then the boat came, but I didn't pay attention, so missed the boat. So that's my default nature, and then now became a better manager of that part of me. But sometimes when I'm so into something, and then not so much careful about the manager awareness, observer me, to observing, to managing that part of me, and then this person is so into, like, without drinking, without eating, without moving at the same spot, and then just do the work 24/7. Happen easy, you focus on something. Yeah, yeah. I think it's not good or bad. It's just that balance, reminding balance, that nature is balance, harmony as oneness. So it's the way we balance in own self. It's unique to each one of us. So finding what's the best way balancing ourselves, when we are in a good balance, and then things should be moving smoothly, like a sea, and so, and then it's ease to do that. But one is too much, and then losing balance, and then it's kind of like heavy, heavy or extra effort, and not ease so much. So that could be a good benchmark to take a look at which area of our life is needing extra effort, or not the focus, but extra some sort of energy, and maybe balancing some part of that. Some the physical also showing up as an effect, because I was having knee pain last year, for started to have like a couple of years ago, and left knee was giving me it was giving me like a sensation, the pain when I stand up or sitting on the floor and bending knees, and it was not happening before that, and I had no idea what happened. Maybe I gained weight, or I know stress came to one portion. Maybe it's frozen. And so then maybe that's sorry, I lost that. I hope that you came to YouTube. Let me see. I kind of knew it was going to happen. So let me go back to Twitter. I think it became too. Oh, it's overheated. Hi, Mel. I think the other device got overheated, so I'm glad that you came back here. I think I'm gonna turn this off on Twitter. Um, so yeah, and then my knee got sort of like alerted me to do something with it. So I thought that I may gain weight, so that's the cause of that, or and then I decided to build some muscle on my legs, because to just be flexible about my legs, and then I really wanted to shape up and then keep up with some walking with less tiredness. So a good idea to build some muscle, right? So and then decided to use the 5 minutes before closing the eyes before bedtime to simply moving the muscles back of the thigh, and then 4 5 months later, I noted that knee pain disappeared. It was like, that's interesting. I didn't even intend to make that happen. When we get some painful joint and then look for some solution to fixing it, right? So I was also taking it into some supplement to the joint pain and all that kind of stuff, and didn't help me much, but from absolutely different reason, and I wanted to build the leg muscle, and then it disappeared. So that means like a balance. Perhaps that the muscle was helping the movement of the body, and then that actually affect to the knee, and then the knee used to give me the sensation as pain disappear because that something that I did. And then the only thinkable cause of that pain is disappeared is because of the muscle building. Even if I decided to build for not to heal the knee, but as an secondly benefit consequence of that, I get it as a byproduct. So that's also body. Like when you have something, then work on this particular area or some other part, and then to make a balance, then this disappear, because once the balance is becoming healthier and discomfort dissolve, I think that's natural part of um, cause and effect. And then perhaps that's the approach of the Western medicine, and then also Eastern modality to treat, like a whole body to treat that. And that scientific studies, like to treat in this particular targeted area, remove or to work on that. So that's, whatever the way that it works, it's usable tool. So I'm not saying which is good or bad, but just about balance and the wholeness is such an important way to take a look at. So focusing on, and this soft focus, dedicate and back off to observe, look for it, and then just allow that to come. When you're looking for some particular thing, that passport, for example, or like a wallet or a key, and you're looking for something, or the particular clothes that you really, really want to wear, couldn't find it anywhere, right? And then when you forget about that, knees, and then all of a sudden, boom, shows up. Something, it's the magical part of the system, I think. Yeah. So would you like to pick the energy word, Mel? For you, perhaps? Yeah. Can you give me the number if you like to pick for yourself? Key awareness, balance, and honki. Yes. What's the number? Between 1 to 7. Oh, by the way, I love the video that you posted on Instagram. The water with the sun. It's beautiful. 5. Okay. I really miss the water side. Being away for like almost 2 years. When was the last time I spoke into the ocean water, the beach water? 5. Okay. So the energy word you pick is gen. Gen. Genki. It's the source energy. Genki means how are you? How's your source energy is high genki, low genki, no genki. I was like no genki this week. And this is also from a physical genki, mental genki, emotional genki. Each part influences one another. So, but overall, as a whole person, How's Genki? Genki. And the element I'm gonna pick for you is the heart chakra green. Balance. Balancing the heart, caring, nurturing, forgiving, to maintain Genki. Genki. So the heart, emotion, yeah, emotion and caring, nurturing. When we care other people, and then that actually energy return system, it's coming back to you to boost our Genki. So when we lack of having Genki, like myself this week, and then to connecting, sharing the energy with others is returning back to me to boost my Genki. That's also a balance. Yeah, that's a good reminder. And then balancing out Genki is when we are so high energy, like a high exciting energy, excitement, high level of Genki. And then when it comes down to the low energy, and its gap between high and low is not so ideal. So maintaining that stable, and then that level, raising the level is good. It's not bumpy, jumpy energy, but it's like grounding and raising that power, charged up self energy, connecting to earth, and then also above, and then bringing all this good alignment, good energy, good vibing with this sense of self. And then it comes to the center, yellow, but and then connect to the world around us with the heart, with love, with sharing, nurturing, caring. That's balance is good Genki. And good to maintain that Genki by giving and receiving, connecting to the world around us. That's a good reminder. Well, thank you for choosing this Genki, though, because we all need to boost in this Genki. And children's are full of energy. That's a Genki. The full of Genki. And just being surrounded by their energy. It's kind of like a bumpy energy, but it's good to maintain the good high excitement energy to balancing out when you feel low energy. Don't think we had this one before. Genki. Yeah, I think the Genki once, the once with the balance is the first time. So let's check what Genki quickly for each chakra to share. Yuhikonki Genki. Yay! So this is what I wrote here. Healthy, active, core energy. Genki. Core essence, core energy. The root chakra with life, survival is healthy foundation gives us solid genki, the power from earth, like a safety gives an open source to live life, kind of a grounding, reliable genki, down the earth energy. So it's good to connect into the Mother Earth nature, and that is giving and charging all this earthy, energetic sense of loved by nature and being part of nature and grateful for being able to surrounded by the air, supported by Mother Earth, that gives us an genki. The hugged by trees, that kind of rejuvenation from the being part of the earth. That's a root chakra genki. And the second chakra, orange, is healthy creation, the creative 101 to create joy. It's look at the children, it's so creative, like when they grab some crayons and just drawing it everywhere, right? No matter what, just the different colors, that if that's the genki. But hey, look at that children's in the survival crisis situation. It's easy grabbing the black color and then just or to just scratching all this everywhere, like the invasion site children's, they're unhealthy genki. Even their physical energy is so much charged, but mentally, emotionally, not genki, no genki. We can see that from our drawings. So that's a creation, the creativity to create joy is lacking. Even they look for something to be creative because children are so creative, but we can see that it's unhealthy. So the genki is a creative aspect, showing how you are healthy at the core essence. And third energy center, healthy identity gives a genki. That when you clearly know your identity, like let's say I just get married, so I became a wife, or I just get divorced, I became single, or I just get baby, I became mother. That identity gives a boost of sense of self, genki, that third energy center, healthy identity. And sometimes we go like, who am I? When we are in between who we were and who we want to become, and in between and unsure, sometimes we go there as an identity crisis, which I been there more than a couple times. But that's the part of process of becoming, growing. So that third energy center, identity, how do I identify ourselves at this moment from now on to the next stage for the next destination? So it's clear about that, and then Genki is full of spinning with the resonance to that identity. That gives us a boost of the Genki as a sense of self. And then the fourth energy center, green, healthy, emotional sharing. Emotion is actually the second center too, but feeding, caring. So sharing with that caring emotion, feeding to others gives us a good genki. It's a oneness. to share heart of the matters from any tools, any way to sharing that is giving us an genki with fulfilling the heart, the joy and emotions. That's what and then the balance is genki. Then throat chakra, communication, the fifth energy center, genki, is a healthy expression. Healthy expression. This is really good. When you want to express something and to fully, openly, authentically be able to express, articulate, that gives us chills, us good energy. That's a genki. Openly able to speak. So on the other hand, when we are in the environment that disallowing openly communicate, that's unhealthy. It's no genki. Look at the community of some regions. When you speak out, free speech is ruined. And then when you speak out authentically and then being sent to the jail, hello, to be caught, it's like so restricted, control to speak out. Well, some regions or some level, some community, family, there is there. But at least that we would like to choose with our power to be able to speak. Of course, the way that we speak, there is a rule as a skill needed to communicate with others openly, not hurting, from loving to considerate, and then to articulate what matters to our beingness. So need to build the skills. But that's that how. So some regions or countries absolutely no genki. The people's genki on the fifth energy center is restricted. You know where I'm talking about. So yeah, that's the fifth energy center. And sixth energy center, third eye, is the healthy perception, intuition and perception, genki. So how we perceive things is really influencing to composing our the word, and then also, excuse me, emotions. And how we perceive things is based on our own experience. So we only can change the way to perceive. So if the way we perceive is unhealthy, filter is unhealthy, and then digesting through unhealthy filter is like so unhealthy emotions and feelings and idea is coming up. So it's how important to be in the healthy perception. So one of the absolutely unhealthy perception that I have and still working on it is that I perceive that someone talking and I am also being part of that. Okay, like let's say four of us playing together, and then three of them are talking when I just excused myself, went to a bathroom, for example, and then came back to that, and then I noticed three of them are talking, and then I perceive that talk as like they must be talking something bad about myself, negative about myself. I have no idea, but my perception scan that what I saw in person as that way. That's unhealthy. You never know what they are talking about. They're talking about absolutely different things, but my perception based on the childhood experience is identifying it and then perceive as that unhealthy way. So then the twisted way to take a look at that relationship, and then how to respond to that after I perceive their way talking, but later absolutely no idea what they are talking about. That's so unhealthy. I'm so glad that I noticed that I had an unhealthy way of perceiving, but I think that so many different ways that we have the perception adjustable for more helping us to create the joy and easier way to digest. Isn't it? Oh, thank you. Yeah. So that's it's all about awareness. But when we have an unhealthy perception, and then that really affected the genki, all of a sudden was genki, and then the perception is unhealthy, and then it's the genki is going down. It's like a low energy, no genki. It's ruining. And then seventh energy center, healthy divine union, crown chakra with genki is like connection to divine. Purple, I'm wearing purple, but divine unity with oneness. Do you hear the birds with saying yes? The oneness with the universe is the bird is joining here. It's like that gives us an genki, that reminding the divine unity, union with universe, and we are part of the universe. So being part of the nature, we connecting to the Mother Earth, and then maybe look at the stars in the night, gazing with the moons and shooting stars, Milky Ways, to connecting and being part of that. That may be nurturing that divine self, being part of the universe, to recharging the Genki. So thank you for that participation and listening. Genki is the healthy, active core energy, essence of ourselves, source energy. So we are the source, and each energy center is connected to that source energy. Something is off, and we can use to recharge with the idea of this each energy center representing the which way or which part of us is rechargeable in which way. Yay, thank you. Well, actually, I am recharged my energy for sharing the moments and idea of key awareness. Thank you, Mel. I truly appreciate that. To be able to connect on Friday, Monday and Friday. I know, birds are very pretty. There's the bird park, the theme park in my this area. I've never been there yet, but after the pandemic, I really want to visit there because thank you. There's a unique birds. I can't remember the name, but it's the bird. It's the tall, not the flamingo, but it's got the big face, and then not so moving. It's visiting there and always like stopping and not moving. That's the famous bird, and I would like to go see him someday. When I go visit, and I definitely want to do some live casting from the birds park near me. So as there is a famous birds park near me, there is lots of natural birds around me, which is absolutely lovely. I like it. Well, thank you, Mel. Happy Friday, and let us connect as one energy before closing here as to reviewing the week, and bringing some healing energy. Healing energy is to connect the energy and redirect the way that connected, more ideal way as the chosen way. Thank you. By synchronizing our breath, deep breath, oxygenation, intaking fresh air energy into here, and to digest with what came to our experience this week, and what we would like to use this energy, new awareness, idea for the next. We have a power to choose. So let us synchronize our breath. Intaking from the nose, counting 3, and then circulate the new fresh air energy to our brains to freshen up, and then entire body, and to exhaling and let go, or no longer serving. In case of me, it's the heaviness or the old pattern that I am struggling to let go of, insist and stay, but I really want to have the new pattern taking place, and it just kind of, so it's all good and let go, just notice it. Even like the flow of the liver is coming into here, and maybe it just create some unusual flow back to as a metaphorically, and use a breath from nose and circulate it, and then exhale, and just a natural sense of self aligning here, 0 point at here now in this physical body. So then we can use new energy to little bit adjusting to ideal self, experiencing the chosen goals, or becoming that person, experiencing the outcome chosen by you. So consciously allowing that energy taking in, and then realigning and defining, and then to really owning the newness here now together. So let us take a long, deep breath. Go. 2, 3. Hold it. Keep it. Circulate it. And go. One more time. Just reminding that we are all connected under one sky, and to adjusting as a perfect one whole body, our mind, emotion, physical, perfectly balanced creativity, and the heart carrying with co-creating oneness and just make it perfect with the new energy and taking in and circulate perfectly to let out. Ready? Intaking now. 2, 3. Hold it. Circulate it. Make it as a I like the air just came. It's just joining wind. The last one. This time. So intaking all that new fresh air and then make it perfect alignment. Becoming the person. Experience the chosen outcome. And to out no longer serving and connecting as a oneness, saying out. Ready? Let's go. Something is stuck in. Thank you for joining my throat chakra. Clear communication. Thank you, Mel, for holding the space always. I truly appreciate your presence and wonderful energy. You have a wonderful evening and happy Friday. I see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you.